Well, howdy there, Internet students. This is Mr. Hermanson again. If you're watching this, then you're wishing you could retake 6.1b objective. All right, to help us out with number one, we're going to use our calculator. So we want to do the square root of 1.44. You could actually do it without your calculator. I'll show you that real quick. But you might find it easier. As a fraction, that's 100, it's 1 and 44 hundredths, which is 144 or 100. And since both those numbers are perfect squares, the square root of 144 is 12, the square root of 100 is 10. I can write it as 12 tenths, which is 1.2. Or on my calculator, I can just do the square root of 1.44, and it tells me it's 1.2. All right, so that's all there is to it. If you want to use your calculator, go ahead. If you get a fraction, you should leave your answer as a fraction. So for that one, you should write your answer as a fraction. Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. All right, number two says, what are the square roots? Notice this is plural. And that's because there's a positive square root and a negative square root of every positive number. To find the positive square root, you just do the square root of 196. To find the negative square root, you do the negative square root of 196. So the square root of 196 is 14. The negative square root of 196, you can probably figure this out, is negative 14. All right, so we have two of them, positive 14 and negative 14. All right. Number 3 says, solve the radical expression below. Round your answer to the nearest whole number. Remember that the way you undo a square root, these are inverse operations, is you square it. So if we want to get rid of the square root, we just square this. And when you square the square root of x, you get x. And so we need to do 361 squared, which is a pretty big number. 361 squared, to undo that, 130,321. All right, so remember, to get rid of the square root, you have to square it. Now be careful here. A positive square root cannot equal negative number. So for this problem here, there'll be no solution because you're doing the positive square root of x. You need a negative sign in front of that to do the negative square root of x. All right. And the last problem we'll do is we'll try and figure out which equation here has no solution. So I just want you to do some mental math here. So think about what number this would have to be to subtract 8 from and equal negative 14. And you can backtrack to figure that out. You would just do negative 14 plus 8, which is negative 6. So this number needs to be negative 6, because negative 6 minus 8 is negative 14. Well, a positive square root cannot equal a negative number, so this one has no solution. Now, this one, we have the same situation. We would want this to equal negative 6, because negative 6 minus 8 equals negative 14. And negative square root of x can equal negative 6. I got that by backtracking, negative 14 plus 8. Okay, and so if this equaled 6, then the negative of that would be negative 6, and that would work. So the value that makes that true is 36, because the square root of 36 is 6. So the negative square root of 36 is negative 36. On this one, when we backtrack by adding 18, we get a positive number. We get 4. In other words, we want this to equal 4 because 4 minus 18 equals negative 14. And what square root equals 4? And remember, to undo that, you do the squared. So x is equal to 4 squared, which is 16. All right, so go ahead and finish those up. When you got them done, send me a nice clear photo of it, and if it looks good, I'll get that retake to you. Good luck.